It's beautiful springtime in the Pacific Northwest. Flowers are blooming and you start to hear birds singing. Unfortunately, this beautiful time of the year can be quite short. So, why don't we paint what moves us and make this wonderful memory last? Hi, this is Eric from Cafe Watercolor. Just the other day, my wife and I were taking a walk around the neighborhood, enjoy some cherry blossom views. And it seems like we are not the only ones who enjoy the blooming flowers. Because I saw a bird flying up to a branch above me, I quickly snapped a photo with my phone and I felt it would be a shame not to paint it. So today, let me share the process of this painting. I will go over briefly what I did to recompose the image for painting, how I paint a loose cherry blossom background, and a three-dimensional looking chestnut-backed chickadee. Before we start though, if you like my content, please consider giving it a like and subscribe. Ring the bell icon so you won't miss out my next video. I appreciate your support. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so before I started to show the process of the painting, let's take a look at the original photo, which is this one right here, and the recomposed photo and final painting. One thing you need to understand is that it's nature, so it's not going to have perfect composition for you. You have to kind of modify that. And I was right there when the bird fly up to the branch, and after a few seconds, right after I took the photo, the bird fly away pretty soon. So there's a couple things that I do need to fix from this photo, right? So the most obvious one is right here, which is the beak and the head of the bird is overlapping with that little branch in the back. So we are losing the silhouette of the bird's head. So what I did is I just kind of repaint, move the branch a little bit to the right, so that we are left with a very clear silhouette of the bird, right? Other than that, the contrast is really good. We have white against middle value, and we have the dark against middle value and the light value. So it has enough contrast for us to be able to see this bird very, very clearly, right? Another thing is mostly the direction of the branch. Like this one is leading your eye away. So if your eye will follow this branch, this is going to lead your eye away. So I repaint this branch so that it leads to the bird, right? It doesn't have to all kind of converge there. That can look a little bit creepy, but I do want the branch to sort of lead your eyes towards our main focus, which is the bird. Another thing that I did is I cropped the painting. Even though I zoomed in quite a bit already, we still need to kind of zoom in a little bit further on the bird. Another thing that I did at the very end is that this is very dark, so it's competing with the bird. So I actually make the branch a little bit lighter by scrubbing it a little bit after I'm done with the painting. So I will show you guys about that a little bit later. Okay, so let's get to the painting process. Okay, start off with a line drawing. I'm using a dull 4B pencil, and as you can see, I'm just blocking out the basic shape of the bird. Now, I am not an expert on the bird anatomy, but still, you can start off by just drawing two oval. One represents the head, one represents the body, and connect these two basic structures. And also check the proportion. So the body is about 2 times the length of the head. So as long as you got the basic structure and the proportion is relatively accurate, you are good to go. So you can see that I'm starting to draw the wing and the tail feather and the beak. And here I start to draw the claw of the bird. Make some indication for the different colors of the feather. Did a little bit of shading. It's basically 2 spheres connect together. So a little bit of shading will help to identify the direction of the lighting and the sense of form. And now I start to draw the branches. Here, let me play in real time So you can see I definitely spend a little bit more time trying to make sure that the branch shape is looking good. And sometimes it is okay, and actually I encourage you to use a little bit of straight lines here and there. The reason you want to use some straight lines is because the visual language is going to suggest the hardness of the tree branch and the sense of structure. And now I start to draw the silhouette, the shape of the cherry blossoms in the background. Now the main focus of this painting is the bird, is the chickadee. So the cherry blossoms in the background, as beautiful as they are, you don't want to make them looking too detailed, because that will rob your attention away from the focus, which is the bird. So here I switch to my mechanical pencil and start to draw over and make a cleaner drawing. So take your time, draw clean lines. A good drawing is going to help you with the painting because you will spend less time trying to figure out where you should fill the color, where you should paint. Once you start to do the washes, you need to worry about the stage of wetness and dryness. You need to mix the color. So take away as many guesswork as you can during the drawing stage. And as you can see, I erase the shading to make it cleaner. The shading was to help me to get the sense of the form of the bird, but I don't really need that anymore. So start off with my first wash. I want to paint the sky and the light color for the cherry blossom. So the cherry blossom, I will mostly use carmine, but carmine by itself is a little bit too pink. So I will warm it up and cool it down by mixing with a little bit of orange for warmer pink and add a little bit of cerulean blue for cooler pink. And I pre-wet the surface so I can paint some soft color of the light. Don't worry about the color blending with each other. This is just the first layer. It's going to dry very light, and it is very easy for you to cover this layer with any darker color. And if you find any of the colors running a little bit too far, like some part of the cherry blossom colors are going into the white feather of the bird, you can grab a paper towel and just press it while it is still wet, and you will get rid of that color. And now I'm painting the sky with a relatively bigger brush. This is phthalo blue, which is also cerulean blue for mission gold. Now it's very important that you try to finish the sky wash in one go, except when you are hitting the branch and the flower, then you can paint around and start a new shape. But each shape you started, try to finish that shape in one go so that you will have a nice clean flat sky color. And you also see me using a bit of orange with Hansen Yellow Deep to paint some anther of the flower while it was still wet. So you got those soft yellowish color. And now I start to paint the cherry blossom color in the background. It is slightly darker, almost into the middle value range. And because the sky is not completely dry yet, some of the flower edges is going to be very soft because it is wet on too wet. Try to be careful though, you don't want to make the mixture too wet, otherwise it will create cauliflower edges. And right now is a little bit tricky because I want to make it look like cherry blossom flowers, but I also want to group them together. And right now I'm painting the middle value range of the flower group together, and also try to leave a little bit of the highlights here and there, just to create some variety and depth. It's very easy to get lost into all the details, especially when you're painting them and your eyes are fixed on the photo reference. It's very easy to get lost because the camera will capture every little detail. But our job as an artist is to process what we see and reinterpret them. And now that we are painting our middle value, I start to paint the middle value color on the bird. And when you paint the middle value, try to change the color as you go, just to make it feel a little bit richer. Adding some stronger warm color like orange and a little bit of red in the form shadow area, just to reinforce that transition from light to dark. That area is often the local color of a surface. So in this case, the orange feather of the bird, in that area is between highlight and the shadow, so the lighting is just right to show the local color of the orange feather on the bird. Adding a few details, just enough to create some sense of layering, because the little bird does have feather layering on top of each other. And here I try to darken the shadow area and try to leave a little bit of the reflective light on the bottom. This will make it feel like the bird's belly, the bird's body is nice and round. And now I move on to the background again, try to paint the cherry blossom. And as you can see, it is very loose. I really just treat them as different groups of shapes. Paint a little bit of blue sky back. And do a little bit of wet on to wet while it is still moist. Again, just to create variety within a shape. And always kind of step back a little bit or squint your eyes a little. See if the shapes are grouping together well. See if the whole picture looks nice and harmonious. Now this demo is sped up quite a bit because the full demo is about an hour. So if you are interested to see my full-length demo, it is on sale on my Patreon page. I will link in the description down below. Feel free to check it out if you're interested to see the demo in real speed. It is much slower, so it does require some patience, but I try to explain what I do as I paint. So when I'm doing this YouTube video, watching myself paint, it's more of a retrospect, trying to explain what I did during that time. But when I'm painting and explaining at the same time, it will be a little bit more organic. I will try to think out loud, if you would. I will talk about my thought process and my decision on the spot. So adding some dark values underneath the tail feather and also the dark part of the feather. The bird is looking nice and solid, so it's time to paint the tree branches. Now for the tree branches, try to make it nice and clean, almost like a graphic element. Like everything else in the background, the tree branches are here to support our main actor, which is this little bird. So we want to make sure the shape looks good, but we also don't want to paint too much detail that will rub your attention away from our main focus. So the way we paint these tree branches is almost like doing calligraphy. We have different thickness of lines and shapes, and we can break up the shape a little bit because there are some flower petals covering some part of the branches and things like that. And now painting our main tree branch. Doing a little bit of wet onto wet, bring some sky color in. I leave a little bit of a highlight on the top because that's where the light is coming from. Adding a bit of a green, cobalt turquoise to hint some moss on the tree branch. I'm using a nylon brush and adding some dark colors wet onto wet. So this major tree branch start to look a little bit more interesting, has some texture on it. Here I got carried away a little bit because I'm having so much fun doing this wet onto wet. So I didn't realize that I make the tree branch a little bit too finished, a little bit too dark on the left, and is robbing your attention away from the bird. So after I finish the painting, after a while I actually go back and scrub it a little bit with clean water and clean brush on the left to make the tree branch on the left lighter. So here I go over with an eraser after I make sure the painting is nice and dry. So the painting looks a lot cleaner. And here, as you can see, I lighten up the branch on the left by scrubbing it a little bit with a nylon brush with clean water. That way we can keep our focus on the bird, so the tree branch will not be a distraction. So sometime, even after I finish the painting, there's still room for adjustment. Hope you like this demo and hope you like this painting. I enjoyed this painting so much. It got me to revisit and take my time to enjoy that special moment during this spring. It is not a perfect painting, but the point to me is never about painting a perfect picture, but to experience and savor that wonderful memory. That's it for today's video. I hope you get to enjoy the spring wherever you are. Don't let busyness and obligations rob you of your enjoyment of this beautiful season that God created for you. I'm Eric from Cafe Watercolor. See you next time. God bless.